All right, welcome to another episode of Serious Though. I'm your host, aka Big Six. It's Ron in the building. Let's go ahead and get it started. All right, what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about the food that we eat. I've done this kind of in multiple segments or multiple podcast episodes, but they're going to ban more food, man. Like they talking about banning Skittles. And I think it's the right thing to do. And I'm going to get into why I think it's the right thing to do because it doesn't make sense, right? Let's get into it. So today, November 2nd, 2023, the FDA is looking at BVO. So we're going to talk about BVO. You're like, what is BVO? And that is bromated vegetable oil. It's a vegetable oil that is modified with bromine. Okay, bromine is on the periodic table. You can look that up. As it authorized, it is used in small amounts, not to exceed 15 parts per million, as a stabilizer for fruit flavoring in beverages to keep the citrus flavor from floating to the top. That's why we use it. The FDA also looking at red number 3. Red number 3 is found in a lot of stuff, like found in your Skittles. You know, you may like Skittles and stuff like that. But why did it take this long to realize that a chemical that we make is not good for us? Well, it didn't take that long. They knew in the 50s and the 60s and stuff like that when they came up with the product. They had banned it from makeup and stuff like that a long time ago. So they knew that. But we kept on consuming it and eating it because guess what? They passed it. FDA said it was good. If you get a small amount of it, it's okay. You know, anything in small amounts. But remember, most of us don't eat stuff in small amounts. So yeah, it's that part. So I compare it to cannabis though. Let's think about cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it. But it has properties that can help people, right? And like everything else, everything may have a small, a bad side or something like that. But cannabis can help people, but it's a Schedule I drug, meaning it has no health properties. But this bromine or BVO, agent for your sodas and stuff like that, or red 3 for your Skittles, that has a health property. Or does it? I think we all come to the conclusion that it's all about money. It's not about your health. And so you got to be more aware. Just because the FDA approves something doesn't always mean that it's right for us. Because in most cases, well, I think in all cases, FDA doesn't actually do testing. They go by the testing that the company gives them. Yeah. I know, right? So, and I could be wrong, but I'm not. So think about that, y'all. We're eating stuff that says FDA approved. Look, think about it. Cigarettes at one point were prescribed for anxiety or smoke a cigarette. That was probably in the 50s or 40s or something like that. But people were prescribed cigarettes because it's okay for you. Same thing with soft drinks. It was okay. They're good for you. They're elixirs. Coca-Cola was an elixir. Coca-Cola is the only company that still uses Coke in their product. Yeah. Cocaina, Snow White, whatever you want to call it. They still use it in their product. But what they're saying is they use the leaves and they send the Coke part to pharmaceutical companies. But that's why the drug cartel can still exist, because we still need Coke for our Coca-Cola. So I say all that to say you have to be more aware, serious though, about the things that you consume. Ask questions. Some of the issues that we have as people, aches, pains, headaches, stuff on our body or whatever, it comes from the food that we eat. Or I shouldn't even say food. I should say the modified or the AI food. There's a new one. It's AI food or whatever you want to call it, because it's artificial in most cases. It's not real. So change your diet. It's about that time, man. Really, it is. So I am Ron from Serious Dough, checking out. Keep listening. Subscribe.